Welcome to the Norman Moore edition of Varsity. I'm Ryan Aber, joined by Justin Harper. Justin, a big week in the South Metro this weekend with two crosstown classes. First of all, in Norman and Norman North meeting Thursday night.
The rivalry there is taking an interesting turn in that Norman had won 9 straight and was just dominating. Now North has won 3 straight, and the difference is every year those games were similar in terms of each team knew what the other had and what the other would look like. This is totally different. Norman, in its second year under Greg Nation, is looking completely different with that offense. Same offense, but they're running it so much better and they know it better. They're not going to look the same to Norman North as what they saw last year. Of course, Norman North, same situation. They're not going to look anything like any Norman North team we've seen in a while, because instead of having just one running back there and Bo Blankenship, they're probably going to have 2 a lot of the times. They're not going to throw as much. They're going to run more. The key personnel for Norman North has drastically changed this year. So it'll be interesting because even though usually being a crosstown class, they do know each other so well. They're all kids that really know who can do what. That won't so much be the case when these two play. So it'll be an element of surprise there.
And should be one of the most competitive games in this series we've had in a few years.
Yeah, it'll be the most competitive between them since the 06 playoff upset that Norman North pulled off. Since then, in the first 9 Norman High wins, they were almost every time, well, they were the better team. And since then, the North's 2 regular season wins in 07 and 08, they were the better team. So this one is, well, North I still think has an advantage talent-wise, but this is more of a toss-up going on to the field if Norman's offense looks like it has in the preseason.
Right. And Friday night, the Moore War at Moore Stadium, Moore and Westmoore. Such a great rivalry over the years, but has it been diminished with the addition of Southmoore the last couple of years?
Not in these two schools' eyes. Southmoore and Westmoore have kind of picked up their own rivalry. Moore and Southmoore haven't really kindled anything yet, which is unusual because Moore beat them for their only win last year. So I think that'll probably sort of come around this year. But Moore and Westmoore still consider that the game in Moore, and this game is going to be big for both of them because they both really need to get off to a good start. They both, Moore's coming off a 1-9 season, so they think they've turned some things around. They've got new players, young new players all over the field. Westmore's got a whole new offense, everything, so they both want to get out there and see what they can do. And that's going to be important aside from the rivalry. So in this case, it's a little different. You can't just go out there fully thinking Moore War. You've got to actually work on what each one, they have their own internal things to work on, so to speak.
Right. Well, Justin, sounds like 2 exciting games in the South Metro this weekend. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you for joining us, and check us out every day at newsok.com/varsity for the best high school coverage in the state.